You've been told that self-improvement is the path to happiness. But here's the brutal truth. Most of it is mental masturbation. It feels good in the moment, but it leaves you weaker, not stronger. You keep reading books, following habits, and stacking routines. But why does nothing truly change? Nietzsche saw the trap. He called it the illusion of progress, a distraction that keeps you from real transformation. And in this video, you'll discover 6 principles from Nietzsche's philosophy of downgoing that will flip your entire view of self-growth. Especially rule number 4, it will shatter how you think about failure forever. I've studied this pattern in modern psychology, and it's the same pattern Nietzsche exposed more than a century ago. We chase improvement like addicts, but we're terrified of the one thing that actually creates strength: descent. What shocked me is how closely his warning matches today's world of productivity, hacks, and endless life optimization. The cycle is the same, comfort disguised as growth. So here's the roadmap. First, we'll expose the problem, then dive into Nietzsche's solution of downgoing, and finally, I'll show you how to apply it in your own life. And the first truth will make you question whether you've been growing or just hiding. Most people mistake movement for progress, but Nietzsche said the will to power isn't about doing more, it's about becoming more. Think of a hamster running on a wheel. The motion feels endless, but the destination never changes. That's modern self-improvement. Journals filled, podcasts consumed, routines stacked, but no real transformation. Nietzsche compared this to polishing a cage instead of breaking free. You feel proud of the shine, yet you're still trapped. Real power comes not from adding more routines, but from stripping away illusions. Takeaway: stop asking, "What else can I add?" Instead, ask, "What must I destroy?" Because improvement without destruction is just decoration. Never-ending growth sounds inspiring, but Nietzsche saw it as a sickness. A man obsessed with improvement becomes like a tree that refuses winter. He stretches upward endlessly, but without dying seasons, he rots from within. Modern psychology agrees. Chasing endless positivity creates burnout and emptiness. The pursuit becomes the prison. You climb, but there's no summit. Nietzsche's downgoing means embracing decline, rest, and death of the old self. Growth is not linear, it's cyclical. Without collapse, rebirth is impossible. Takeaway: true power comes not from climbing higher, but from knowing when to fall. Man is something that shall be overcome, Nietzsche declared, and the bridge to overcoming is downgoing. This means daring to step into chaos, the depression you've been avoiding, the failure you fear, the truth you refuse to face. Self-help teaches you to escape darkness. Nietzsche teaches you to descend into it willingly. Psychology calls this shadow work, confronting the darkest parts of yourself instead of escaping into fake positivity. Only by walking into the forest of fear do you find real strength. Takeaway: the man who avoids descent stays small. The one who dares to go down rises higher than the rest. Here's where most people fail. They treat failure as proof they're not good enough. But Nietzsche saw failure as the furnace of transformation. Imagine steel. It cannot be forged without fire. In the same way, you cannot become unbreakable without being broken. Every fall is raw material for strength if you have the courage to use it. Modern research shows resilience isn't built by success, but by repeated confrontation with failure and recovery. Nietzsche understood this before psychology gave it a name. Takeaway: don't fear failure, collect it, feed on it. Each scar is proof that you've stepped where others refuse to go. Nietzsche wrote, "I love those who do not know how to live except by going under." His point: creation requires destruction. Think of a forest fire. It looks like devastation, but it clears the ground for new growth. Self-improvement addicts fear the fire. Nietzsche embraced it. Because without burning, nothing new can live. In your life, This means tearing down outdated identities, beliefs, and comforts. The destruction is painful, but the alternative is stagnation. Takeaway: stop trying to upgrade the old you. Kill it so a stronger version can rise. Here's the deepest truth. The ultimate man doesn't obsess over improvement. He creates values, he shapes meaning, he transcends the need for validation. Nietzsche called this the Ubermensch, the one who rises beyond herd morality. And he gets there not by endless hacks, but by the courage of downgoing. Self-improvement keeps you stuck in comparison. Downgoing sets you free. Takeaway: your goal is not to become slightly better than yesterday. Your goal is to burn yesterday completely and create tomorrow on your own terms. Here's the climax of Nietzsche's message. Self-improvement is not the path to greatness. Downgoing is. You don't transform by stacking routines or chasing little victories. You transform by letting yourself collapse into the truth you've been avoiding. That collapse destroys illusions. And only when illusions die does strength begin. Nietzsche's radical claim was this: the man who dares to go down, into suffering, into shadow, into failure, is the only one who earns the right to rise. Everyone else stays trapped, polishing their chains and calling it progress. So the question is simple but brutal. Will you keep feeding on fake growth, or will you have the courage to embrace the fall, burn your masks, and begin again? Because Nietzsche's philosophy of downgoing isn't about despair. It's about rebirth, and rebirth is the only true self-improvement. At the start, I promised to reveal why Nietzsche called self-improvement a kind of masturbation. Here's the truth: it keeps you busy, but it doesn't make you powerful. Real growth begins when you stop polishing yourself and start dismantling yourself. Nietzsche's philosophy of downgoing means that you willingly descend into struggle, into chaos, into your deepest fears, because only in that fire can a stronger self be forged. And here's the bonus insight. When you embrace downgoing, you stop fearing failure. Every fall becomes fuel. Every loss becomes a step toward transformation. That is why Nietzsche's teaching is not about despair, but about choosing the kind of suffering that gives birth to strength. True transformation isn't about adding more, it's about daring to go down and be reborn. So tell me, will you choose the illusion of self-improvement or the courage of downgoing? Hit subscribe and join me in uncovering the truths most people are too afraid to face.